Hey, 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 it's KrepsyK, and today, because there's no enter feature on the store when you buy packs, I'll show you what I mean. Well, I didn't save anything to... Anyway, when you click this, it gives you a menu, and you have to accept, and then it gives you a second menu here that you have to accept. So I couldn't just click enter 30 times, but I had to start over recording because I had to do all that off screen. But we are opening nearly 40 packs of Kaldheim. And I'm not going to do the open 10. This is kind of going to be a slightly longer video. I'll try and talk quickly. I'll try and open stuff quickly. But I want to kind of talk about some cards that there are in this. There we go. Okay, so it doesn't go away right away, which is good. I haven't opened mass packs on this game like in 2 sets. First of all, I think these are very good. I think the common snowland, island, mountain, or whatever, it's not a basic land type, but it does say the land type on it. I think these are going to be very popular and very effective. And I'm not going to look too much at the commons, but really I'll be looking at the rares and kind of giving my 2 cents on what kind of decks I might want to build with this set. So, blow up creatures, blow up planeswalkers. Okay. I don't know if Giants is going to be very popular. I'm hearing some buzz. I know there's some buzz around Fall of the Imposter. Seems like a pretty good card. Very, very happy about this. Boast is an interesting mechanic. I'd like to see what comes out of that. There's a lot of boast. Looks like we got a flippy land. That's fine. Let's see. I also like Binding of the Old Gods. I think some of these sagas are going to be much more powerful. And Jeez, that glitch! Look at that. You see this? Sorry if anybody out there has got spaz problems. Beginning of your end step, draw a card. If your life is greater than your starting life, okay. Yeah, that might see some play, like a 1 or 2 of in life gain decks, but I think Angel, Cleric, life gain tribal is pretty much established already, so not quite sure. I do like how the Courser here has enchantment and artifact. Specifically, artifacts will cost 1 less to cast, so maybe we'll see some blue, black, white artifact shenanigans in Historic to basically free cast off the top of your deck. Who knows? Broken Brow. Hey, Arnold. Haste, 3/3 for 3 haste is good. Boast is good. Base power 1 plus the greatest. Okay. That's interesting. So if you've got a good team, he can be bigger, but otherwise 3/3 for 3 haste is just a good value. Flying Trample. Okay. I saw Nox do some shenanigans with dwarves. I think there actually might be something there. Maybe not tier 1, but definitely looks pretty fun. I like Nox's Brews. God Favored. Is this a flip card? No, it's just God Favored. Legendary, Flash First Strike, very good. Protection from Gods, okay. Enters battlefield. Oh! Well, look at that. And it stops combat for something big. This might actually really see some play. I think if you're running like a Taxes deck, or kind of like a mono-white Trickster deck, this would definitely be an include. Some of these are nice. I like the Snowlands. Particularly Shimmerdrift Veil. I do like this card. I think it'll see play in just about every multicolor snow build. Let's see. Okay. And then Graveyard to Battlefield for Flying. Yep, Ascend of the Worthy is going to see play. That's all I'm going to say about that. Doomscar is going to see play. A turn 3 board wipe is just what you need against rogues right now. Seriously. See, gold vein pick. That I'm interested to watch the movement on this because it's kind of a rampy card. That's a slight buff anyway. So you drop it. Let's say turn 1 you play like a little dinky 1-drop. Maybe the nice 1-drop that's 2/1 in the set. Turn 2 you drop this. Turn 3 you equip it. And let's say it's blue-white, you keep it unblockable, you start ramping up that way. Maybe. Apparently, Narfi in Draft is busted. This and the other green-white also Nox had both of these on the board at the same time. So it was like green-white, blue-black. That was hardcore. Nice little dual land here. Or, well, it's not really a dual land, is it? Okay. I wonder if the Ox is going to go in some kind of Ox Dwarf vehicle deck. I'm not sure how that's going to happen. None of these are terribly good. Like I said, I still like the basic, or the common tap lands here. Changeling. Okay. Righteous Valkyrie is going to see play. It's already seeing play. Mono White Angels and Clerics is happening now. Like I said, it's already very well established. Blood in the Snow again. I like this. Vega the Watcher is going to see play, I think. Flash 1-2, Human Rogue. Can't wait for that. Rogues are a problem. So I do kind of want to mention at one point when I get a chance during this video that Old Growth Troll 3 mana 4/4 is just good value with trample, good value. I don't have to read the rest of this card. Yeah, it's a good card. In fact, I think the Magic Historian covered this card in a video of his. So if you want to know, I pretty much fall exactly where he falls. If you want to know how he discusses this for play, I really do like it. But I think my biggest disappointment with the set is there's no Graveyard Recycler, right, to stop the Rogues decks. There's no Gaia's Blessing. There's no Clear the Mind. There's really nothing in the set except for one card in black that specifically targets creatures and only puts creatures back in the deck, not even in hand, but back in the deck, and still leaves all the lands in the graveyard, so it doesn't get around things like the 2 mana counterspell. Oh, counterspell, kill spell. Blue-black one. You guys know what I'm talking about. Rune of Might. I like the rune cards. I think the rune cards are undervalued, and I'm definitely planning on building a very nice enchantment deck. Maybe mono green. I've been kind of working with it, toying with it now already as it stands. Usher the Fallen is that 1-drop I was talking about. This right here is going to be a solid card. This is going to see play. And that's a fact. Okay. Like I said, oh nice, Old Growth Troll. I haven't really looked too much at the set. I've been trying to focus on other content. I steered away from Magic the Gathering Arena content, Magic the Gathering like play content. It just wasn't very popular. However, it's a new set. Strike while the iron's hot, things like that. I think of all these, specifically the taplands that have the abilities, Starnheim, the Great Hall of Starnheim, is going to see more play than probably any of the other ones, and might actually see real play, I think. Eyesight Troll's a good card. That's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, Pyre of Heroes. This is, well, I mean, we have Birthing Pod effectively back in Standard, so look out for that. I haven't done any brews or thought too much about this card, like I said. Haven't looked too much at the set, but this is going to see a niche deck somewhere. It's gonna find its own little home already, I think. Again, the common land cycle, the common tap land cycle, I think is going to be very valuable over time. No. Fangbear, we already... Death Touch is going to be a deck. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. Green, black, Death Touch is going to be a deck, and it's also going to have foreign collects. It's going to happen. Mythic, alright. Nothing to talk about there. Nothing else really to look at, I don't think. Let's see. Another land. Changelings, I'm very interested in Changelings right now. However, if you're running Witches, the 3 mana black sorcery kill sweeper for creature types is going to happen. So look out for that. Witch's Vengeance. Witch's Vengeance is going to become more popular, I think. Mammoth Growth is interesting. The Foretell for it is very interesting. Foretell is another mechanic that I'm kind of interested in watching these play patterns roll out. Though I think with more sets in Standard right now, decks are just going to get faster. Foretell's going to get left behind, in my opinion. Maybe blue-white, but again, that's already pretty much established in all the preseason sneak previews from all the awesome MTG content creators out there. Each of up to 2 creatures you control, they gain vigilance and lifelink till end of turn. This is another one. This is the other one that I think is going to see play. I don't think the rest are very good, but the Hall of Starnheim and the Stronghold, I think, is going to actually be somewhat popular. Giants, Amulet. ETBs, pay meh, Stop derping out, man. You're killing me. This is very interesting, I think. I don't know if blue-green Shapeshifters is going to be a deck. But if it does become a deck, I mean, you get a creature, and then your creature gets big. Yeah, and then it, like, fights something? Or blows something up? Okay. Okay. Shimmervale again, like I said. I like Shimmervale. Or Shimmerdrift. Whatever, it's Shimmervale now. That's what I'm going to call it. Invasion of the Giants. I'm interested to see how the blue-red Giants, maybe even Jeskai Giants, rolls out. Tokens, Cole is going to see play. Tokens is always a deck that's going to be played. Maybe even Naya tokens, green, red, white tokens, I think might actually see some play, just because there's that green-white enchantment that like gives you a whole bunch of tokens or copies every single token you have. So in a deck, let's say we're in the historic format because Goblin Instigator is not a card that exists right now. And then you also have the 1-drop that whenever you attack with 3 or more creatures, creates a warrior. Oh, there's another one that creates human tokens. And elf tokens are obvious, right? So right there you have 4 different kinds of tokens. So this gives all your tokens a buff, and the green-white enchantment makes a copy of all the tokens that you already have. There's also that mythic in one of the guilds blocks. It might be actually Guilds of Ravnica. No. Anyway, it's a green-white mythic, and it's a pay X, and you can also tap creatures for mana for it. That also creates a mass of tokens, and if you're generating a buttload of tokens, and then you use that to generate even more tokens, drop this on the following turn, everybody gets a +2/+2 or +1/+1. And then Tristani gives them another +1/+1. And then for measure, you would drop the 3-drop addendum card that gives everybody +1/+1 vigilance and indestructible. That right there would be a finishing play. That's like a turn 5 win. I know that's slow for historic, but it is interesting to look at. It's nice to brew, I think. And if you're playing, Brawl or something, speaking of Brawl, yep, fight card. Sculptor of Winter is going to see play in snow decks, period. Rune of Flight, yeah, the runes are going to happen. Tybalt's Trickery. I don't have a good opinion on this card right at this minute. I'm definitely unsure about this card. I'll leave it at that. A hard counterspell in red is just not good. I don't think. Elf Warrior, yes, elves and warriors are going to happen. This is another card that's going to go into, I think, that Naya token deck, just because he's not legendary. So if he enters the battlefield next to himself, it triggers both? No, just the one. And then create duplicate tokens. Green-white tokens might actually be coming back. Very cool. I like green-white tokens. This is another one. Human Warrior. Warrior. There's something there. Tokens. Yeah, green-white tokens I think is going to happen. Green-white-black elves I think is going to happen. What, Abzan elves? Abzan elf tokens. There's good removal in black. There's all kinds of good stuff in black. So look out for that. Naya tokens. And then Abzan elves, I guess. Replicating Ring. We don't have Proliferate in the meta right now. I don't even think in Standard at all. So, I mean, if you can buy that many turns to get all that mana, I mean, what do you need the mana for if you're already going to buy like 7 turns or whatever it takes to get this thing going? Not sure. Tybalt's Trickery again. Like I said, I don't know. I really don't know how I feel about this. This is interesting. So it seems like the blue-green Shapeshifter deck is effectively pre-built, right? Like it's just like the Cyclone deck. It's just like the Rogues deck. It's literally set cards that Wizard designed to work together deck. And they do one in every single set. I don't know how I feel about it. Create 2 dwarves. So here's more tokens. It's a foretell, sure. So you drop this, foretell, and then on turn 3, you foretell this, and then on turn 3 you drop that enchantment, then you play this on turn 4, and duplicate whatever nexus. Okay. Duplicate whatever tokens that you maybe have acquired. Creatures are every type. Create a changeling. So, like I said, Witch's Vengeance is just going to sweep this up. If you're running black right now and you're not running Witch's Vengeance, you're wrong. Okay, because it's going to be tribal out the wazoo. For 4, you search for an aura or equipment. I think it's slow, maybe a 1 of in the equipment stack. Definitely not like a 3 of, like the other ones I'm predicting. Revitalize, back in Standard. Nice. Well, it's printed again. But the art for this is just gorgeous. I know it's not deck building, but I do like the art. Each non-land card in your hand without foretell has foretell. That's interesting. Is equal to its mana cost reduced by 2. Okay. I mean, it's good because you don't have to be running all foretell cards to get the 2/3, but at the end of the day, it's a 2 mana 2/3 kind of. It does let you dodge like discard effects, which could be relevant. Don't discount the fact that you could just like empty your entire hand. But also with Kroxa in the meta, I think you might actually want to invest more in card draw rather than emptying your hand. Just saying. Let's see. Cyclone Summoner, 7/7/7 Giant Wizard. Okay. Well, Giants are going to be a thing. I don't know how good they're going to be, but Giants are going to be a thing. This is very expensive. Has to be a late game. I mean, it's a closer. Maybe you put one of these, maybe two of these in the deck. Saw it coming, really? Foretell 2, though. That's why it's called Saw It Coming, right? I like it. Let's see. Boast. More 2/1 red dwarves. So it's not a different creature type. So I don't know if this is going to be more relevant than any other token generator. I don't think. Scald. 5-drop. 4-drop flyer. Too expensive. Lifelink for 2. This might see play. Infernal Pet. Second spell each turn, put a 1/1 counter on this and against flying. Yes. Infernal Pet is probably going to see play. I don't know. Maybe blue-black draw, but Rogues kind of fills in that space. Not quite sure why you would want to do that. But let's see. Shadow Sage. This would be really cool in foil. 4/2/5. X, where X is the greatest number of creatures that have a creature type in common. Again, tribal is going to happen. If you're not running Witch's Vengeance, you're wrong. Okay. Gain X life. Well, Witch's Vengeance in a creature deck, and also build your creature deck relevant. Okay. Accordingly is the word. Gain X life, whereas, yeah, okay. So, green, black elves is going to be a thing. Mono black elves with control on the back end for protection is going to be a thing. Abzan elves is going to be a thing. Sword of the Realms is just a solid card. Not sure. I think the other, the black god sword equipment combo is probably going to see more play than this, but creatures that are enchanted or equipped have double strike is a relevant line of text. Very relevant. At the beginning of each combat, you may attach target aura or equipment attached to a creature you control to a different creature. So you can swap things for free. Very, very interesting here. So you can just dump out maybe a bunch of little green-white tokens. And then all your other cards are either this or equipment cards, but you don't want to go a like 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 type of deck. It doesn't tend to work out mathematically, so keep that in mind. I don't know how many packs of cards we have left. I don't know how much more I can ramble. This card is very strong. I just got my butt kicked by this card in like 4 matches ago. Sack this. -X. Snow lands you control. Mono black snow is going to be an archetype, I think. You might see even more in historic, but there is Erebos' Intervention. In fact, you could run black-white snow, and you would probably have all the removal and control. I tried to build a black-white control deck last season, or rather before Kaldheim dropped, and I think just a couple more pieces like Haunted Edge might actually make that deck playable, because it had answers for everything, but it didn't quite have enough answers, I guess. So maybe not. But let's just be honest, anything that has adventure in it is going to outvalue you in those types of games. Creates tokens, maybe. World Tree, as soon as somebody learns how to break this, it's going to probably be a tier 1 deck. Let's just be honest. As soon as somebody figures out how to bust the World Tree open, let's say with the Elysian Dryad and ramp. So mono green, because that's all it takes. Mono green ramp with just absolutely whatever you want on the back end. Put one of every god card. In fact, you do that in Historic. You just basically empty all of the god cards in your deck into your hand. And then because Elysian lets you play extra lands, and green is ramp anyway, you just start dumping god cards. And specifically the god cards from War of the Spark shuffle back into your library. They do all kinds of other stuff. Or at least a couple of them do. I don't remember if they all have that ability. But specifically the god subtype is going to be relevant. And in fact, this specific land in Brawl or Commander or something like that, and you're running all of the gods throughout all of history, that includes all the way back to OG Theros, Return to Theros, War of the Spark, obviously this set. I think there might actually be something here, though I don't know if a 5-color god exists, so keep that in mind. But gods are all legendary. There's a Sisay card that's 5, and I think almost every Sisay card that's been printed has something to do with legendaries or is 5 colors. So, maybe in Commander, something like that. Modern, I don't know. As soon as somebody figures this out, it'll get busted wide open. This thing, I don't know what else to call it. 2 blue, white X, create X shards. What does a shard do? This creature deals combat. Oh, shard is scry. Yep. Blue-white control, just found effectively. It's, just consistency card. That's what this is going to do. This is going to be a consistency building card. Not quite as strong as 3 Fairy. In fact, I think this is an entire step less powerful than 3 Fairy. However, right now, the way things are going with all the board wipes, specifically in blue and white, and all the other shenanigans that they can pull off, maybe this is just exactly the kind of card that they were looking for to lock you out of a game, folks. And you've seen it in blue-white many, many times. If this works in blue-white, it will be the consistency card. It will help them just round out to the point where they just lock you out of a game. So keep that in mind. Nothing else here. Reinforcements, seen it. Omen. Creature enchantment spells. So creature spells. But creature spells in multicolor? I don't know. This is a really, really niche card. Very much so. And creatures you control get 1/0 till end of turn. I don't know where this card wants to be, but it's in 2 really weird places. Let's just put it that way. Rare, Gambit. Exile artifact, creature, and enchantment that opponent controls, and then they may put a permanent from their hand onto the battlefield. Okay, so you would think that this is like, oh, you're giving your opponent a really good thing. Well, currently, a lot of decks will just vomit their entire hand onto the battlefield, and you basically have a 2-mana piece of removal, and they get nothing out of it. But if they're holding cards, this is a bad card. Okay? If they're holding any card, this is permanent. That includes land. Okay, so if you play this on turn 2 and they effectively ramp while you get rid of their Edgewall Innkeeper, okay, so they don't get to draw, but you just gave them maybe that 1 extra mana that it would take for them to drop like a Lovestruck Beast on turn 2. Could you imagine a Lovestruck Beast on turn 2, and then on turn 3 they play the 1 mana, and then they're swinging, or the 1 power creature, and then they're swinging with the Lovestruck Beast? Anything else. they drop in something like a tapped creature that's really slow that has trample. Whoopsie doopsie, your turn is over, and they just got a great big huge thing that is now untapped and ready to join into combat. Like what, Elder Gargaroth? Just imagine if you remove some piddly thing or something that's annoying you in a game, and then, oops, they got an Elder Gargoth, whatever that card is, Elder Green Jerk, and then there it is. Instant regret. Again, common tap lands, I like them. This is a good cycle. Same thing with Shimmervale. I like it, I like it, I like it. Rune of Mortality. Runes are good. I'm not going to go over them all. You saw the spoilers. Summoner. Nothing to see in this pack here, folks. I'm actually kind of disappointed with some of these pulls. Okay, 4 mana 3/3 flyer. Becomes tapped. Exile a card from a graveyard. Put a counter on this. So when it attacks, it gets a +1/+1 counter. Okay, it's just going to happen. On turn 4, something in somebody's graveyard is going to... Something somewhere in some game is going to be in a graveyard. There you go. Sack something, gains indestructible. This will see play. If you combine this somehow with the Kroxa deck and you make your opponent discard cards, I mean, this actually probably slots right in. So, because it gets a counter, it actually avoids some of the removal that is currently being run right now. Way down, sorcery. Okay. Land, Frostbite. Plow. Colossal Plow, put it on the Giant Ox. Everybody saw that coming. Alright. Follow the Imposter. That's the one. Follow the Imposter. Man, green-white enchantments is, like green-white control enchantments, is potentially going to be a thing, I think. Or like mid-range green-white enchantments. Flying, Death Touch, Haste. This might actually see play. Guys, don't even confuse this. Plus it's an angel and a cleric. This really might see play. Keep your eye on this card. If you're running on your very, very top end, Vengeful Reaper and let's say, the Trickster, the guy that gives you 3 options when he attacks or deals damage. I don't remember the name. Nope, can't remember the name. Anyway, he gives you the ability. You could either, everybody loses a life and draws, everybody sacks a creature, everybody... I don't remember all the abilities. You know the guy I'm talking about. Anyway, these 2 cards on your top end and everything else is like death triggers or just black-white angel clerics, black-white clerics in general. This is an angel, this is a cleric. I'm sure this will find a home. Tybar, 4-drop. Elves. Yes. This is going in elves. Don't even think that Tybar is not going to be a $10+ planeswalker, because elves exist in every format going all the way back to Legacy. So, Tybar is going to see play. Snowland? Okay. Yep. Spirit of Aldergard is probably the most likely card here to see play. Snow is going to be an interesting brew around mechanic. Probably till Kaldheim rotates out of Standard. Create a treasure. So now red-white has ramp. That is not irrelevant, folks. Red-white getting ramp is not irrelevant. I repeat, because big red was already a thing. Big white, I guess, technically is a thing. So if you combine the best of both worlds, that glitch is getting old. But if you combine the best of both worlds, you're basically just getting more extra great big fun things to do. Red, white giants might actually want this card, and you might as well put in the equipment, I suppose. I have not seen this. Each player mills. Yeah, this is going to get annoying. I'm better at playing your deck than you are. Yeah. This is going to go right in that deck, whether it be in standard or historic. I'm better at playing your deck is probably going to play this. Along with the other classic blue-black, terribly thiefy, mean cards, I suppose. You know what I'm talking about. You know the cards. 3 seasons. Oh my gosh! It's going to flip me out. Mill, snow permanents, that includes lands. Yeah, this is going to be a consistency building card. That's all that is. Blue-green just got something consistent in standard. Do I think the blue-green is going to be a good deck? I have no idea. I don't think so, but I wouldn't be surprised. Yep, this is a good card. Veragoth is going right in the Death Touch deck, along with the other 3-drop Death Toucher that is in Core 21. That gains you a bunch of life and drains a bunch of life from your opponent for each attacker. This is going to see play. Oh. I don't know about Dual Strike. This is... I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about it. This will probably go in Berserker decks. It might even go into zombie decks. Obviously, with Timret Calls the Dead, this creates a zombie whenever it dies. Yeah, might actually happen. Sack it to Village Rites, get a zombie. Yep. Not entirely impossible. The Worm, 6 mana that gains you life. Okay. Another Bloody Sire. Let's see. Runes. Dwarves. Nothing really we didn't already establish. Wow, we are getting a lot of duplicates, guys. It's finding things to really, well, not finding me things to really talk about here. Provoke the Trolls. I don't know. +5 power. Like, if you're gonna get +5 power and you've got the 4 mana at instant speed, it's gonna be an Embercleave to your face. This doesn't even make sense. Okay? Why would you run this over Embercleave? So, not excited. This, create a thing that makes mana. Pay mana, look at things. You may cast a spell from among them without paying its mana cost. Ladies and gentlemen, ramp is going to be bonkers. And if you include this with Brawl or Historic, yeah. It'll see play. Avenger, 3/1 for 2. Elf, relevant. Berserker, relevant. Black, relevant. Whenever another non-token elf or berserker, relevant, draw a discard. I'm sorry, draw, lose life. Relevant. This is relevant. This will see play. Black-green elves is actually one of my favorite archetypes, and I would probably put this in a black-green elf brawl deck, or historic, or friendly play, because, friendly play is the only time you can bring a weaker deck and still have a good time. 3-1 for 2 is not irrelevant for stats. Yeah. Alright, well, folks, I suppose that's it. If you have any interesting brewing ideas for this set, I'm going to go ahead and think about how I can abuse the enchantments and runes and Setessan Champion. That's my current goal right this minute. So, I want to thank you all for stopping by. You all have a great day. This was KrepsyK, and I'm getting out of here.